Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, WNWP. Welcome back to the second webinar, part 2 by Lenny Koshal, Nature Talk with Lenny Koshal. Today, we will be speaking mainly about Lake Nakuru and Samburu. Before we go and before I give the platform to Lenny, I've got a wonderful video that will introduce Lenny in a wonderful way. And this is shot by one of his friends. It's an amazing video. I hope you all will enjoy it.
Meet Lenny.
Jambo, jambo. My name is Lenny.
Lenny was our guide during our 7-day safari trip, and it was awesome.
But I'm not your ordinary guide. I'm a Maasai warrior.
And being a warrior is no easy task. Your teeth get pulled, you get publicly circumcised at 16, and you must kill a lion.
But isn't killing lions illegal?
Yes, killing of lions is not only legal, but wrong. We have to preserve these beautiful animals.
If you can't kill lions, no one can become a warrior.
Not quite. Lenny, please explain.
Nowadays, the Maasai people have changed their ways by not killing the lions, but instead to go to the university to bring degrees.
And along with that comes a new inspiration to society, which allows them to be more productive and provide for their families in a better way.
I'm self-level guide, and I have a diploma in tourism and wildlife management. I have a degree in wildlife and conservation. I also speak 3 languages fluently.
If there is one thing that impressed me the most about the Maasai, is that they are fully aware of the outside world and they don't plan to be left behind. So Lenny, asante sana kaka for showing us the great beauties of Kenya.
Karibu sana.
Perfect.
Over to you, Lenny. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much. So
you can share your screen now.
Yes, I would like to welcome each and every one of you in this platform. And thank you very much for joining. This is actually our second session in WNWP World Nature and Wildlife Photography group. And thank you so much, Paul, for the invitation. And actually, we are going to share, I'm going to share with you some tourist destination information about Kenya. But before that, I would like to introduce myself by the names. I'm Lenny Koshal. I'm a professional safari guide in Kenya with silver level. So today, I'm actually going to give you some guidelines or small information or guide you through Lake Nakuru National Park and also Samburu National Reserve. So actually, we are seeing each other or we are doing a game drive while we are very far away from each other. And it is because of this coronavirus that is all over the world. But I'm sure soon you'll be able to visit our beautiful country and see what we are going to do today in real life. So first of all, Nakuru National Park, it is a park that is located in the northern part of Nairobi. It is actually 164 kilometers away from the city of Nairobi, where most of our tourists land at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So you can actually drive for 2.5 to 3 hours to this park, whereby you will go through the Rift Valley. First of all, you will go through the Rift Valley because Nairobi City is outside the Rift Valley. So you can actually be able to start to see beautiful sceneries the moment you go down the escarpment now to get to the Rift Valley. And this park actually was established in 1948 as a national park. And then actually it is 188 square kilometers. It's a very, very small park. And 70% of the park is actually covered by water. It is covered by water because it's a lake. That's why it is called Lake Nakuru National Park. So when we go to the meaning of the name, it is actually derived from a Maasai name, meaning a place of dust. Nakuru is a Maasai name. We call it Orguroro. So Orguroro is actually means a dusty place in Maasai language. So because the other people don't know how to pronounce it, they actually called it Nakuru. And this place is fully fenced 100% because we have Nakuru town just in the area. So the government or Kenya Wildlife Service has to fence it actually to prevent wild animals from going out and kill people, for example, or people to come in and hunt wild animals. Then actually this park, there is a neighboring conservancy called Soisambu Conservancy. It is one of the animal corridor whereby the animals can use from Lake Nakuru to Mount Longonot or even to Elementaita. That is another tourist destination place whereby you can be able to see some animals there and also flamingos in large number. That is actually a place between Nairobi and Lake Nakuru National Reserve. So the picture you can actually see on the screen was taken in one of the highest points of the lake. It is called Baboon Cliff. So when you go up there, you can actually be able to view the whole lake and see the birds or even animals that are just around the shoreline of the lake. And this place is famous because of, it used to be famous because of flamingos, whereby flamingos used to roam around the shore lakes, the shores of the lake, but now they are not there anymore, and I will tell you why. But at the moment, the park has an endangered species of giraffe called Rothschild giraffe. This species of giraffe was actually introduced to this park back in 1977 by the Kenya Wildlife Service because we used to have them in big number in the western part of the country, but they were killed by game meat, and actually they become endangered or almost extinct in the country. So the few individuals that remain, they were brought to this park, and also some other were actually imported or brought from the neighboring country, Uganda. So this is one of the national parks in the country whereby you can find this species of giraffe in the wild. And actually, you can call them Rothschild giraffe, or also you can call them Baringo giraffe. You can also call them Baringo giraffe because they used also to be found in the area of Baringo towards the northern part, northwest part of the country. Then now we also have the black rhinos. They are also found in the area, same as the white rhino, that is the southern white rhino. You can also be able to find them in the place. Another thing is the buffaloes. They are actually found in very, very big numbers in the park. The park is very small. It's not a lot of predators that can actually kill these buffaloes like the lions. So they are actually multiplying in very, very big numbers. And then we have some few remaining individuals of flamingos. Maybe at the moment as we speak, you might actually be able to see between 50 or 30 to 100 individuals of flamingos that have actually remained. So the reason why the flamingos have actually moved out of Lake Nakuru National Park, whereby the park became famous because of millions of number of flamingos some years back, it is because the water level increase in the lake has actually hindered or affect the pH in the lake, whereby the blue-green algae, that is the food for these flamingos, cannot be able to grow in the water whereby pH is less than 7. So the cause of this water level increase is actually the lake has some rivers that brings water from Mau Forest or even Aberdare ranges to this lake. Therefore, also we have a lot of sewage water coming from Nakuru town. So all these made the water level to increase in the lake. And therefore, this blue-green algae cannot actually be able to grow in that neutralized water that have lowered the pH, because that blue-green algae cannot be able to grow in the water that is actually less than 6. So the lake, if the lake is 4 to 5, it cannot be able to grow. So these flamingos actually had to move to other places to get food, because there is now food scarcity in Lake Nakuru National Park. And actually, this algae can actually grow in big number when the feathers of these flamingos drop in the water, and actually it contributes for more and more food to grow. That is the blue algae. We also have the pelicans. We have the greater white pelicans. They are still found in the area. You can actually be able to see them up to date. They are still around because mostly they depend on the fish. They eat the fish. And also we have some other birds like the fish eagle. They are found in the area. See, that one is carrying the fish. And the kind of the fish that we have in the area is actually called the Graham's silchid fish, or you can also call it Lake Magadi tilapia. This kind of a fish was introduced to some of the Rift Valley lakes or alkaline lakes back in 1960. So it was introduced to Lake Nakuru, which is an alkaline lake, Lake Magadi, which is also alkaline, and Lake Natron in Tanzania, which is actually borders Lake Magadi. So for these 3 lakes, they are actually the places whereby flamingos used to be in big numbers. But at the moment, we still have a lot of flamingos going to Lake Magadi, whereby it is their main breeding point. That is the place where they breed at the same time to Lake Magadi. But now when the water level increase happened in Lake Nakuru, the flamingos actually had to move or migrate to Lake Bogoria. They are now in millions, and also to Amboseli National Park, whereby we have some swamps. The first session, actually, I discussed about the flamingos in Amboseli National Park. So that is also the place whereby you can be able to see them. And also we have some few individuals that are in Lake Magadi and Lake Natron. But most of the time you find the big percentage is the young ones, because it is the breeding point. So they can actually stay there before they gain stamina or skills on how they can move or fly from Lake Magadi to Lake Bogoria or even Amboseli National Park. Then we are actually, we have both lesser and greater flamingo in the area. And also we have some other species of birds. As you can see in the screen, we have 3 species of birds here. The first one, the big one, is called the marabou stork. This is one of the species of the bird that is actually, they scavenge food. For example, if lions kill or if they get a dead thing, they actually scavenge food. Also, you can find them in the cities, like the city of Nairobi, we have them. Then they actually go to the garbage areas to try to eat the food for garbage. Then the very, very white one, if you can see my mouse, is actually called the kettle egret. Kettle egret cannot actually be seen most of the time in the carcass places. But the reason why you can see them here you see this is a carcass, so there is a lot of flies in the area. When this marabou stock disturb the carcass while eating, those flies will go away, and therefore this cattle egret take advantage and feed on those flies that come out of the carcass. So that is the same thing that happened when it comes to herbivores and cattle egret. There is actually a relationship called commensalism, whereby when these herbivores disturb the grass, there are those insects like grasshoppers, or even some small mosquitoes, or even any kind of insect that flies out of the grass. They actually take advantage and feed them. So it is actually a commensalism relationship, whereby the herbivores is not being harmed, or also the bird is not getting food directly from the herbivore, but it is actually depending on the herbivore, but indirectly. So it is not a symbiotic benefit, it is a commensalism benefit. We also have this other small bird in between the marabou stock. It is called the sacred ibis. They are also found in Lake Nakuru National Park. Then we have this kind of guinea fowl. It is called the helmeted guinea fowl. This helmeted guinea fowl actually got the name as per their head character or look, whereby this head is actually have something like a helmet. So that is where they got the name. It's called helmeted guinea fowl. So we have 3 species of guinea fowls in Kenya. Number 1 is the helmeted guinea fowl. We have the vulturine guinea fowl, whereby when we go to Samburu National Reserve, while we are on game drive, I will be able to show you the vulturine guinea fowl. We also have the crested guinea fowl that is mostly found in mountainous area. Another thing is the woolly neck stock. We also have the woolly neck stock. We have the yellow beak stock. And sometimes during the month of March, April, you can actually be able to see the white stock. They actually migrate and come to this area. So you can also be able to see.
Hello, Lenny. I think we lost your audio for the time being. That's okay. We'll wait for you to come back online. Having said that, Anupam, you're online. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm there. I'm there.
Anupam, as we wait for Lenny, it will be great if you can share very good experiences of Africa, so that everybody's interested till we get Lenny back.
Okay, so let's wait for Lenny to come back. Let me just share a few of my images with a small storytelling session that we all would like to see some experiences paired along with the photos. So we had some beautiful sightings when I was in Masai Mara in September. And I'll just show you a few very unique moments that I could make. So here, so if you can see my screen, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, very well.
So we arrived just in time at Masai to see this very unique and the only one kind of its type zebra foal called as Tira. So after around 4 to 5 days after we left, the officials in Tanzania came and took him away for conservation and to be saved from the predators. So currently we are just waiting for some news whether he's still alive or what has exactly happened with him. So that is the thing. But if you can see, he's a very unique looking kind of a zebra. magenta purple kind of color. And then we had this a very beautiful sighting. We were with these kids for almost around 3 hours before we exited the park.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah, and there were around 7 of them, 6 to 7 cubs over there, along with 3 full-grown lionesses.
Wow.
It was a beautiful time with them. I got to make some amazing portraits of these kids. Let me just show you some. So here is one.
Amazing. Very nice. Look at that eye contact. You know?
Yeah, exactly. And if you see, there is a nice V which has been created with those twigs in between through which she has seen through. So this is the one, and see this. So again, a playful moment on the site where we got this, and like I would like to share one thing. If you have seen kittens playing, our regular home cat kittens playing,
Yeah.
the behavior of these cubs is exactly the same.
Is
So
it?
they'll pounce
Okay.
on each other. Yeah, they'll pounce on each other. They'll try to playfully attack their siblings. They'll try to give some good head-ons, and they're very curious to see what is going on.
Okay.
Just before seeing these cubs, we were here at the tribe migration where these wildebeests were running across the plains.
Wow.
And this is a moment when we could make these kind of captures. And there is one thing that I wanted to show you over here. This thing.
Okay.
So there are a lot of opportunities on the Mara Plains when we get to capture these kind of portraits. Now, capturing these kind of portraits need two things. One is a good telephoto, a prime telephoto, rather 600 or a 400 mm. I was carrying a 400, and the way you could capture the texture on the face, and it's really mind blowing.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So,
Is that the famous Scarface that you have clicked in this?
no. Scarface is different. This is not Scarface actually. Scarface has a very gruesome facial characteristic.
Yes.
Because I got asked many times whether this is Scarface or what, or even I shot this guy over there, and if you can see, there are scars on the face, so people tend to relate Scarface with any kind of lion which has scars on the face.
Correct.
So he is not Scarface. Scarface is very different. I think so. Lenny will be able to talk about Scarface when we have our third session for Masai Mara.
I think we've got Lenny back in.
Oh, great. Okay.
He is now online.
Yes.
Lenny,
Perfect. So let's.
Thank you very much, Anupam. I think in case if we have any other interruptions, we will.
Yes.
I would love to see more of those fantastic photos.
Okay. Perfect. So let me just stop my screen sharing.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, guys. I have some connection problem.
No problem, Lenny. No problem.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So I'm actually in a very far locality in Masai land, so we have some internet problems sometimes in Masai Mara. Yeah. So we continue with the birds. The bird, actually, you can see it is called the sandalbill stork. They can also be found in Lake Nakuru National Park. And then we also have these small water birds. The one you can see on the left side up of the screen, it is called the yellow-beaked duck. You can also find them there. Then we have the gray-headed gull. They are also found in the area. Then we have the lilac-breasted roller. They are almost found in all parks of Kenya. And actually, we name it as one of the national bird of Kenya because they are found all over the country. Then we have the African hooper. The African hooper are also found in Lake Nakuru National Park. And also we have some other species of hooper like the green hooper. They are also found mostly in Samburu National Reserve. And then we have the pelican, that is the greater white pelican. And then we also have some other small animals like the hyrax. The hyrax are actually found in Lake Nakuru National Park, mostly in the small cliffs that we have like Baboon Cliff. You can actually be able to see a lot of hyrax in the area. And actually these small hyrax are believed to be very, very close relative of elephants because they have small teeth like canines that actually look like tusks. So it is one of the similarity with the elephant. Also, the gestation period is very long. The animal is very small, but the gestation period can actually be up to 7 months. So that is very, very long for this small animal. Also, the formation of the joints. The joints, the bones are actually placed to each other, just like the elephant. So that is another similarity. We also have the leopards. Leopards are found in Lake Nakuru National Park, but sometimes it can be a rare sight to see because they are very, very few in numbers. And also the bushes are there and you can only see when they are close to the roads. Then we have lions. Lions are found in the area, but most of the time you find lions of Lake Nakuru National Park are tree climbers. And this is only because of the number of buffaloes that we have in the park. The number of buffaloes is very, very high, and therefore the lions don't take a risk and climb on the trees to prevent or to protect themselves from being attacked by the buffaloes. Then now we go back to the giraffes, whereby we have 3 species of giraffes in Kenya. The first one on the left, it's called the Rothschild giraffe, the one that are actually found in Lake Nakuru National Park. We also have Maasai giraffe, the one in the middle. They are actually found in most of the places in the country. That is the most common giraffe that we have in Kenya. And then also, excuse me. And then also we have the reticulated giraffe. Thank you. Reticulated giraffe are found mostly in the northern part of Equator in Kenya. So the way that you can use to differentiate this kind of giraffe, it's actually the Rothschild giraffe. You can actually see in their skin, they have the ecotype of the skin. It's actually, it has some pale. The pale that has some orange and brown patterns that are actually young and sharp in shape. What I mean is, when you look at the edges of these spots of this Rothschild giraffe, you see all edges are actually sharp. And you see it is orange in color, like the whole body. You can see it is very orangish. And at the same time, it has some brown pattern. The one, actually the line that separates the spots is pure brown. And the Maasai giraffe, they have what is called rosetted kind of spots. That is actually, they are like flowers. You can see they don't have a regular shape, they have irregular shape, and actually they look like flowers. And then for the reticulated giraffe, they actually have dark patterns that are actually bright, that have the line that separates the spot is pure whitish. That is actually the channel between the spots. You see it is very pure white, and at least the shape of the spots has some shape. It is actually not like the Rothschild giraffe, whereby it is sharp at the sides. This one is actually have some small shape, and the line that separates the spot is pure white. And they are red, almost red in color, not orangish, like the Rothschild giraffe. Also for the Rothschild giraffe, you see the line below the knee is pure white. They don't have any spots, so they have like white socks. So that is actually another thing or another way you can be able to differentiate these kinds of giraffe that we have in Kenya. And then today, we are actually going to discuss about the rhino as one of the big five. The big five in Kenya or in Africa are lion, leopard, elephant, buffaloes, that is the African Cape buffalo, and also we have the rhinos. Both black and white rhino are in the list of the big five. So these big five actually got a name because they are the one that were most hunted by people in many years back for ivory, for trade. And actually, they are also the animals that are very, very dangerous to both human beings.
Hello, Lenny. I think we lost you again. Probably it's due to poor network connectivity.
I think so. He's there, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
I can hear his voice.
Correct. There is some transmission issue.
Yes.
It's breaking up in
Can you
between.
hear me?
Yes, Lenny.
Can you-
Yes, now we can. We lost you for like 15 seconds. That's it.
Okay. So can you hear me?
Yes. Now you're loud and clear. And we can see the screen as well.
You can see the screen as well.
Yes. All good.
Okay, just a minute. Perfect. So these rhinos, that is the reason why, or the way they got their name. That is where they got the name as Big Five. So these rhinos, we actually have 3 species of these rhinos in Kenya. Number 1 is black rhino, and number 2 is the southern white, and number southern white rhino. There are actually only 2 that have remained in the whole world, and they are actually found in Olpejeta Conservancy. It is a conservancy between Lake Nakuru and Samburu National Reserve. And then for these rhinos, you can actually, they have some physical characteristics that you can use to differentiate the two. Number 1 is the shape of the mouth, whereby the black rhinos are actually supposed to be called the hooked lip rhino, because you see the mouth, the upper lip is actually sharp. It's like a hook. So that is one difference. And the white rhino, they actually have a wide mouth. That is actually where the name comes from. They are supposed to be called wide rhino, like the wide, not white rhino. So it was people actually misunderstood what the Dutch people meant when they say white rhino, but they said white rhino. Then people actually try to do the easiest way to make people to get to differentiate the two. So mouth is number 1. Then number 2, the shape of the back. The shape of the back for the black rhinos is actually concave. They have a concave back. And the white rhino, they have a convex back. They have like a hip in their back. So that is another way to differentiate the two. Another way to differentiate is actually the body size. The body size for black rhino are smaller than white rhino. The weight of the black rhino can weigh between 1,000 to 1,500 kgs, that is 1.5 tons. Then for the white rhino, they can actually weigh 2,000 to 2,200 kilos, that is 2.2 tons. So you see the body size is also different and all that. Then we also have the social behavior. These animals, you can actually, when you see them well on game drive, you can actually tell their behavior immediately you get closer. That this one is black or white because the black rhinos are more aggressive and actually they don't wait. Whenever they see a car or anyone around, or if you make unnecessary noise, they get agitated and put up their tail and feel like they want to run away, or sometimes they might charge. So they are very, very aggressive. And the white rhino are more social. You can get, when you get closer to them, they cannot run away. They cannot look like very angry at you and all that. So because of that aggressiveness, the black rhinos, when they have calves, they normally, when they run out of danger, the calf always lag behind the mother when they are running away. So the mother is always in front and the calf is behind. Then for the white rhino, because they are very social, and actually when they are in danger, because also of the weight, the calf is always in front of the mother when they are running. So the mother is always behind. Then also, the black rhinos are pure browsers. They browse, that is, they feed on the leaves on the trees. That's why sometimes it is difficult to spot them well on safari in some of the park because they hide themselves in the bushes while feeding. And the white rhino are grazers. You can mostly find them in savanna or open lands while they are grazing. Then for that reason, the black rhinos, because of the mode of browsing, their head is always up. So when they move or they walk, their head is always facing up. And for the white rhino, because of the mode of grazing, by facing down, they always move when they are just walking while their head is actually facing down. Then another thing is rhinos also communicate. They actually use scent marking by spraying the urine to the places, by dropping the dungs in the places. That is a sign of communication between the rhinos. And sometimes when the rhino put the dung, because most of the time you find they put dung in one place, maybe one rhino or two rhinos, or rhinos in that area can decide to put the dung in one place for maybe 1 or 3 days within their area. So the other rhinos can actually be able to use that dung to do what is called to determine who spray here, actually to determine or to identify the rhino that put the dung there or spray there. If it is a new member or a member of their area, they can actually use that for identification. They can also be able to use urine and dung to identify the age of their member or the one that did that. If it is a young one or an old rhino. They can also use the same to identify the sex of their member. So that is for the urine and the dung. They can actually be able to use that. Then another thing is when actually the rhinos are on heat or when the female is in season, it actually, when it makes a dung pile, the male normally follow them and actually try to detect if that female is on heat. If so, then the male will actually try to scrap the dung, like to cover it and dismantle, and spray on it to confuse the other male that will pass by that area, to make sure they don't get the same scent that the female that did this is on heat. So when actually they do that, when the rhinos are starting to do mating, normally what happens, a male and a female fight first. When they fight, if the male loses the fight, he will probably not get a chance to meet or to mate with that female. So the male have to do all he can so that he can actually win the fight for the female to allow him to do the mating. And actually, the breeding time, that is when the rhinos are mating, take 2 to 3 days or even up to 1 week. And the gestation period for the rhino is around 15 months. That is actually 15, 16 months. That is the period for these rhinos. That is pregnancy period. Then also they can give birth to a calf weight between 25 to 50 kilograms. Then they start to be sexually mature when they are 5 to 7 years. So guys, that is all I can tell you about the rhinos we have in East Africa. And actually, I can see my internet is unstable. I think, can you hear me, Paul? Can you hear me?
You're loud and clear, Lenny.
Yes.
I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect,
It is just that your video is not very smooth. It is freezing in between. Should be the network issue, but your audio is perfectly fine. We can listen to everything you're saying.
Okay. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank
If you want, could you try to stop your video and start it again? Probably that would help. I don't know. Let's try that.
Okay. Yeah. So that is all about the rhinos we have. So one thing I want to tell you about the northern and southern white rhino, they have small physical characteristics that you can use to differentiate the two because they are very similar. That is actually on the ears. For the ears, the northern white rhino, the one that is only two that have remained in the whole world, the rim of the ears is actually hairy. So that is the easiest way you can actually be able to tell if this one is northern or southern white rhino. So we are actually going to discuss another one of the big five, that is actually the African Cape buffalo. The African Cape buffalo is one of the most dangerous creature we have in Africa. It is one of the most dangerous of all the big five because this is the animal the only animal can actually threaten or challenge the lions in the wild. The lions, yes, are the kings of the jungle, but actually they can be challenged by buffaloes. That's why you find lions of Nakuru climb trees because of these guys. So the name African Cape buffalo actually came because of the male. As you can see, the horns of the male are massive. They are so huge. And when these male are actually between 18 to 20 years, or even to 25 years, because the lifespan of the buffalo is 26 years to 28, this small gap between the two horns can actually be filled up because the horns grow and form something called bows, B-O-S-S. So it is actually the one that made it to be called African Cape buffalo because it looked like a cape, but the real name of that one is called the bows. So it formed that. And the female, on the right side, they don't actually grow horns like how the male do. There is actually a small space whereby you can see some fur in between. So body size is mainly the one that you can be able to use to differentiate between the male and the female because you see also the neck of the male is very big. It has a lot of muscles, very masculine compared to the female. Also the horns, they are massive. Then the buffalo actually, the gestation period, that is the pregnancy period, is 11.5 months. Then for the male, they weigh between 700 to 1,000 kilograms. For the female, they weigh between 500 to 700 kgs. So in that remarks, that is all about Lake Nakuru National Park. So I'm actually going to share with you some more. I'm going to take you through Samburu National Reserve as one of our other topic of the day. So welcome to Samburu National Reserve. It is actually a park that is found in the northern part of Kenya, that is in the northern part of Equator, whereby it is two parks. I just want to share the map. Hope you can be able to see the map of Samburu. This is actually the map of Samburu National Reserve. I just shared from my website. So this is Samburu National Park on the northern side of this river. The blue line you can see, it's called Ewasongiro River. And also we have another park in the southern side of the river called Buffalo Spring National Reserve. Then towards the eastern side of these two parks, we have Shaba National Reserve. So back in 1948, Samburu National Reserve was the world map that you can see managed by Samburu County government. But again, in 1985, the Isiolo County government and Samburu County government actually, they make the boundaries between the two counties. They are actually being separated by a Ewasongiro River that actually starts from Aberdare Ranges, that is in the central part of Kenya, to the eastern northeast part of Kenya in a swamp called Lorian Swamp. So when this park was separated in 1985, the Samburu County government now manage the Samburu National Reserve, and the Isiolo County government manage Buffalo Spring National Reserve. But at the same time, as a tourist, when you visit one of the park, you can actually use the ticket of the one side that we've been to do game drive on the other side. So Samburu National Reserve is bigger than Buffalo Spring. It is 165 square kilometers, the area. Then Buffalo Spring is 131 square kilometers. So the lodges in Samburu National Reserve, we have Samburu Sopa Lodge. We have Serena. Samburu Lodge is not working. It's actually washed away. So this one is not there anymore. We have Samburu Intrepid Lodge. We have the Elephant Bedroom. We have Samburu Safari Lodge. And we also have Lassen in the Samburu side. And then when it comes to Buffalo Spring, we only have two camps. That is Ashinil Samburu Lodge and Simba Lodge. Then Serena also used to be in the Buffalo Spring side, but it's not working anymore. So I just want to show you some pictures of those lodges. The first one is actually Ashinil Samburu Lodge. Then we have Sarofa Shaba. It is found in Shaba National Reserve, that is actually in the eastern side of these two small reserves. We also have Samburu Sopa Lodge, and the final one is Elephant Bedroom. So when you visit there, you can actually be able to get very good accommodation as a photographer, or even with your family, or as a family traveler. So when it comes to the signs that you will actually get at the entrance of Samburu National Reserve, you will actually, the name Samburu is actually, the park is named after the community that is live around the area. That is the Samburu people. These people are actually a sub-tribe of Maasai community, but the way of living is a bit different. So the picture you can see is a lioness called Kamunyak. Kamunyak in Maasai, it means blessing. This lioness actually did a very, very nice work as a wild animal to adapt some oryx calf. That's why you see she has the calf behind her, on sides of her. She adopted oryx calf from actually in the year 2000 and 2003. That is when people saw this kind of magic in Samburu National Reserve. And actually this lioness, the last time that was seen was 2004. So what happened is no one knows what happened to her, how she died or how she disappeared. But actually we believe she died because of starvation. She starved. Reason being, when she tries to hunt, these calves are not actually like the calves of lions, whereby when the mother goes for hunting, they remain behind to wait for the mother to bring food. So whenever this lioness tries to move, this calf follow her. When they follow, definitely she cannot be able to hunt because everyone can see because of the calves. So at the same time, she don't want to eat the calf because they are acting or they are like her calves. So she cannot be able to eat them. And also she prevents them or protect from other lions from killing them. So it was a very, very unique lioness. And actually that's why the Samburu National Reserve decided to put the picture of her in their gate. Then another thing that made Samburu National Reserve very famous, there was Joy Adamson and also George Adamson. These are the people actually wrote a book, Born Free. There is also a film whereby they adopted or raised a lioness called Elsa. So this is the places whereby they used to be. That is Samburu National Reserve, Buffalo Spring, and Shaba. And whereby in the eastern side of Shaba National Reserve, you can actually, there is a camp, called Joy Adamson Camp. That is actually the place where they stay at their home when they were raising this lioness called Elsa. Then now, the park is famous because of what is called the Special 5 of Samburu. That is the oryx, reticulated giraffe, you have already seen the picture, the Somali ostrich, and also the gerenuk, and also we have the greyfish zebra. So these animals are very, very, very famous in the northern part of Kenya. They are actually the ones that are marketing the area to be a tourist destination place, and also a lot of bird species. So before we go to those animals, we also have this park called Buffalo Spring, the one you have seen on the map. It is actually neighboring the Samburu National Reserve. So the name Buffalo Spring actually came during the Second World War when the British Army were actually fighting with the Italian army, and the British Army were camping. They have a camp inside Buffalo Spring National Park, but it was not a reserve before because the Second World War actually started between 1940 and 1945. So the park later was established in 1948 after the Second World War. So there was a bomb blast that the Italians tried throw to the British Army in the place, and actually it formed a very, very big pool that is now a spring. So when most of the time a Wasongiro River is dry, This is one of the major places where wild animals in the both parks can get water during dry spells. Then now we go to the one of the special 5, that is the Griffey zebra. So I will first go through the picture, and then now the Griffey zebra is one of the species we have in East Africa. We also have another species on the right-hand side. It is actually called the common or bushel zebra. They are found in Samburu National Reserve, and also you can find them in major parts of the country. That's why it is called the common zebra. Then, so the physical characteristics of the two zebras, one is the stripes. You see the stripes of the Griffey zebra are narrow, very narrow, and they don't meet anywhere. So it makes this Griffey zebra to have a white belly. And for the common zebra, they actually have broad stripes that actually meet at the belly. So the Griffey has white belly, the other one doesn't have. Number 2 is the size and the shape of the ears. The ears of the Griffey zebra are big and round at the tip or curved at the tip, whereas the common zebra, they have small ears and sharp at the tip, almost V-like shape, sharp at the tip. So that is another physical characteristic. Physical number 3 is the body size, whereby Griffey zebra are much bigger and they look more of a horse compared to common zebra that are much smaller and they look more of a donkey. So that is another difference. Also on the social behavior, the Griffey zebra are known to be solitary zebras. You can mostly find them in a group. For example, if they are actually mating, you can, but most of the time you find the stallions, they just go by themselves, that is the male, without going to form a small bachelor's group, like what happened to the common zebra. So common zebra are more social and you can get a big harem. A group of zebras is called the harem. You get a big harem of them together. Then also, they cannot interbreed because the gestation period is a bit different. The Griffey zebra gestation period is around 13 months and the common zebra is around 12 months. Also the weight is different. The Griffey weigh between 350 to 400 kilos and the common zebra weigh between 280 to 350 kg. So that is huge difference when it comes to the weight of these zebras. Then the reticulated giraffe, this is one, I've already told you about the reticulated giraffe when we were comparing the 3 species we have in the country. So they are very common in the area. And then also we have another species that is called the oryx. Oryx is also one of the special 5 of Samburu. It is called Beisa oryx because we have another species of oryx in Tsavo National Park that is called the fringe-eared oryx, whereby the tip of the ears is actually hairy. It is hairy, so it is one of the major ways that you can actually be able to differentiate between the Beisa oryx and the fringe-eared oryx. So these ones are also very common in the area, and actually they can be able to live up to 15 years. So they are very many. It's big population. It's a main food for the lions there. And then also they have a small gestation period of around 9 months. They give birth to 1 calf. Then see also the color of the calf. They are red in color when they are born, but they start to gain or to dominate the main color as they grow up. Then also we have this species of ostrich. This one is called Somali ostrich. This is the only species you can find them in Samburu National Park, that is in the northern part of Ecuador. But we have another species called Maasai ostrich. You can get them in Lake Nakuru, Masai Mara National Reserve, Amboseli. These are the most common. The Maasai ostrich are the most common, and they have very, very small physical characteristics that you can use to differentiate the two, whereby this Somali ostrich has bluish legs and the neck. The legs and the neck is bluish, and the Maasai ostrich has pink legs and the neck. And the male and the female are different as per the color. The male is completely black and the female are gray in color. And when it comes to incubation period, or when they are sitting on the eggs, the female are always responsible to sit on the eggs during the day to camouflage with environment to prevent the eggs from predators. The predators are some eagles, hyenas, baboons, and sometimes lions can get them and break. And then for the male, because they are black in color, they normally sit on the eggs during the night to camouflage with darkness to prevent the eggs from predators. So the incubation period is 40 to 45 days, or 42 to 46 days, it depends. And the ostrich, male ostrich, are polygamous. So you find sometimes more than one female can lay the eggs in the same nest, and actually it helps them for security purposes because they will be able to guard the nest very, very well. So both male and female are actually responsible to sit on the eggs for security purposes. So you find one nest between 10 to 20 eggs can actually be found in the area, or even they can be more than that. And then at the same time, the ostrich egg, the eggshell is very, very hard. When you boil it in 100 degrees Celsius, it can actually take 40 minutes to boil in 100 degrees Celsius. And when you take the yolk of one ostrich egg is equivalent to 24 eggs of a chicken. So it's a very, very huge yolk, whereby you can actually make a huge omelet at home if you have one. And also the ostrich are flightless, but they can actually run up to 70 kilometers per hour. They are very, very fast. And also they can actually live between 35 to 45 years, or even more. Ostrich in captivity can actually live 70 to 80 years. They can live very, very long time. Then we have this other animal called the gerenuk. Gerenuk are small antelope that looks like impala, but they are small in size. They have a very, very long neck. We also call the giraffe neck gazelle. They have thin and long legs. And the main character or feature about this gerenuk is that they are pure browsers. They don't actually feed on the grass, but only they browse. That's why you find, excuse me, in this picture, they try to put their front legs up so that they can stand on their hind legs and try to reach the leaves on the acacia trees. Whereby we have some Acacia elytra in the area, and Acacia totilis are actually very, very common in the area, and they are species that this gerenuk can be able to feed. So the other unique thing about the gerenuk is no one have ever seen a gerenuk taking water. So I don't know, no one knows if gerenuk take water or not. No one have ever seen, even the researchers. They tried their best, but they didn't actually be able to get or to see the gerenuk taking water. And actually, they live up to 8 years. That is, they don't live very, very long life. And the gestation period is actually 7 months. 7 months gestation period. Then today we are actually going to discuss about the leopard as one of the big 5 that is very, very common in Samburu National Reserve. So I'm going to give you some small discussion of the leopard as an animal that is found in Samburu National Reserve. First of all, the leopard live 12 to 17 years. That is actually the lifespan of the leopard. And also they have a gestation period of around 100 days or even up to 105 days. And they give birth to a litter of 2 to 3 cubs. And most of the time, all the cubs survive if the mother is very careful, because we have leopards that are not careful. They take their cubs all the time, they are carrying them in their mouth, and actually they expose themselves to lions. We have one leopard in Masai Mara called Luluka. Luluka gets cubs almost every year, but they never survive because she's a very, very careless mother. She exposed the cubs to the lions, so lions are killing them every time. Then they also weigh, the male can weigh between 37 to 70 kilos or even up to 90 kgs. And the female weigh between 28 to 60 to 65 kilos. And when they run, they don't have very much speed. They can only run up to 60 kilometers per hour, because most of the time they don't actually rely on speed for hunting, but they rely on stalking. They actually stalk to the animal and ambush. So that is actually what happened. Then for this picture, in that case, you see that leopard have some food on the tree. That is an impala. And you see actually she is using, because it's a she used the horns of this impala to lock so that the kill cannot be able to drop. And sometimes when I took this picture in Samburu National Reserve, there was actually a striped hyena that saw the leopard killed, and the hyena was coming actually to try to drag the impala out of the tree. So the leopard was very clever, because this impala, the leopard didn't take it very, very high. So the hyena was trying to jump to drag the impala out, but now the leopard actually used the horns to lock this impala so that no one can take it away before she rests and get good position so that she start feeding. And actually, when they feed, the average amount of food that they can eat when they are feeding on an animal, it's between 3.5 to 4.5 kgs per day. But actually, it can go more than that or higher than that or lower than that. So that is just the average amount of food they eat. And another thing is when the leopards are actually on oestrus cycle, that is on heat, it can actually last for 46 days. For 46 days before, for example, they get the male. You know, the leopard are solitary. You can mostly get the leopard, 2 leopard if it is the mother and the cub, or maybe a male and a female when they are mating, but they are very, very solitary. They go by themselves and all that. So that's why the oestrus period or oestrus cycle is a bit longer. 46 days is a long time. So I told you the gestation period is around 100 days. And when these cubs are born, they are born when the eyes are closed, and that happened to most of the cats, even domestic cats like dogs, for example. The eyes of these small ones are always closed. And for the leopard, the eyes open up when they are 4 to 9 days old. 4 to 9 days old. And at the same time, these cubs, this leopard give birth in the trees, hole of the trees, sometimes on the small rocks, in between the rocks, like small caves. And then also they can give birth in the holes. For example, holes that are made by the adfox and all that. So they can also give birth to such places. So after that, it actually takes 3 months for those calves to start to follow their mother from one place to another. They can then be able to change the territory or the place of stay within their range to another place, because actually now the calf can be able to follow the directive of the mother when they are moving. And then another thing about the leopard is that they actually have some, most of the time they hunt during the night because they can actually see well during the night. They are true cats, not like cheetahs. So they can actually be able to hunt during the night because they can be able to see. But when there is also chances during the day, they can hunt. I've actually seen leopards hunting during the day most of the time. For example, when I took this picture, we saw that kill. Also in places like Masai Mara, during migration, there is plenty of food. It is easy to hunt the wildebeest for any cat, for lions, for cheetahs, for leopards. And then now, most of the time, leopards stay in the trees actually for security purposes, to not to expose themselves to lions or even to other animals like baboons. Baboons can actually challenge a leopard. A troop of baboons can challenge a leopard and try to kill them, because they know when the leopard is angry, he can actually kill the baboons and feast them. So they, most of the time, they stay on the trees. And then I want to tell you how to differentiate between the leopard and the cheetah, because when you go for safari, sometimes might actually get confused if you are not getting information immediately by confusing the leopard and the cheetah. First of all, leopards are rosetted. It's like more than one spot. It's more than one spot that is bounded together to form one. Look at the cheetah. The cheetah actually have spots that are like dots. They are dotted. It's only one spot. They are round and like dotted. So that is difference number one. Difference number two is the body size. The leopard are short and masculine. Short and masculine. And also you see in the joint of hind legs, this joint is very, very low. She's almost putting it down, really like a pose. This actually helps the leopard when they are climbing on the trees to gain stamina because of this short part of the leg. So it is actually created like that so that they can be able to gain strong stamina when they are climbing on the trees. It is actually, they will be able to hold the weight of themselves and the weight of the prey. For example, when they kill, because they can drag up the tree a prey that is twice their weight. And so they are short and masculine. The cheetah are actually, they are tall, very tall. They are long, I mean their back, they are very long. And also they are slender. So the reason for that, for the cheetah, it is actually, you see they have very long legs. This actually helps them when they are running. These are the animals that relies on speed for hunting. They rely on speed for hunting because the average speed of a cheetah is 114 kilometers, 114 kilometers per hour. So they rely on speed for hunting. They don't run for a long time, but the moment they strike, they can go very, very fast. So 114 is average. They can go lower than that or higher than that. Just like human being, we all don't run the same speed. And then this long back actually help them when they are running. They can actually be able to take long steps, and they have a very flexible spine that actually help them to run. At the same time, they have a very, very long tail. That tail is actually the one that controls the balance. When they are chasing the gazelles or any other predator or prey, sorry, they can actually, it is the tail that helps them to gain stamina when they are taking corners or any sort. So they have very, very long tail. And another thing is the leopard have retractable claws. You can actually not be able to see them just like that unless they bring them out. But for the cheetah, you can actually be able to see their claws inside. Even when they are standing or when they are doing anything, you can actually be able to see them. So they have retractable, non-retractable claws. Then another thing about the leopard, yes, they hunt during the night, but the cheetah doesn't hunt during the night. Because of one thing, they don't see well at night. They mostly see during the day. And that's why they have these tear marks, the black lines that run from the eyes to the mouth. We call them tear marks. These actually help the cheetahs when they are hunting during the day to reflect away the sun rays, because it is very bright during the day. So they need to reflect, there's something to reflect away sun rays so that they can be able to see or focus on what they want to hunt. So the leopards, they don't have the tear marks. It is only the cheetah that does have tear marks. So it is there even when the cheetah is born. They already have tear marks. It's not something that develop as the animal grow up. They are actually born with it. So that is another difference between these two animals. And then another thing is that Samburu National Reserve also have some species of snakes. Just giving an example of one snake, I took the picture. It is called the green carpet viper. It's a poisonous snake. As you can see, the eyes, it's actually like a small cat. That is one sign or one characteristic physical you can tell if the snake is venomous or not. If they have like round eyes, it is probably not venomous. So these snakes are very, very common there, but they are nocturnal. It is difficult to see them during the day. This picture I took at night, so you can only see them at night. So the researchers did some research from Samburu up to the northern part of Kenya, a place called Marlal. It's around almost 260 kilometers from Samburu. They actually be able to get around 700 of them. So they are very, very common in the area. Then we go to the bird watchers. We have around 400 species of birds in Samburu, Buffalo Spring, and Shaba National Reserve. The picture you can see, these are superb starling. These are superb starling. They are actually found in the area. Then this one is called the red-bill buffalo weaverbird. You can also be able to see them. Then we also have the white-headed buffalo weaverbird. This is actually a juvenile. And then we have the white-browed weaverbird. They are also found in the area, very, very common. We also have the parrot-beak sparrow. This is the same, the red-beak buffalo weaverbird. Then we have hornbills. We have the red-beak hornbill. We have the Fonda-Decken hornbill. We have the yellow-beak hornbill and all that. So it's a lot of bird species that are found in the area. We also have the dove, we have the morning dove, we have the ringneck dove and all that. This is a ringneck dove on the screen. And then we also have the secretary birds. They are mostly found in most of the parks in the country. And actually they have very, very unique characteristics whereby they are one of the species that actually can hunt snake. So when the venomous snake bite them, these feet, they have specialized kind of scales whereby they can actually be able to prevent them from the venom going in to their veins or to their body. So they have very, very unique scales in their feet. So this is the only bird in its one family, but the recent research, the researchers say they are in the same family with a tawny eagle. Tawny eagle is in the same family with a secretary bird. We also have the yellow-necked sparrow. They are found in the area. Very, very common. You can actually be able to see them. And also we have the vulturine guinea fowl. You have already seen helmeted guinea fowl when we were in Lake Nakuru National Park. It was a very, very nice game drive. And now here you can actually be able to see the two species. That is the helmeted guinea fowl and the vulturine guinea fowl. So the reason why they are called vulturine guinea fowl, it is because the head or the neck look like a vulture. And the reason why the vultures actually have that kind of a neck, it's because when they are eating, they actually take the whole head inside the prey or the food, and they come out with the blood all over. So if, for example, the vultures have some feathers in the neck, that blood they cannot be able to clean in themselves. So when it remains there, it attracts bacteria. So that's why they are created in a way that the vultures have a naked neck, doesn't have any feathers, so that they don't attract any bacteria when they are feeding. So that's why these guinea fowl, they are given the name vulturine guinea fowl, because they look like vultures in the neck. Then we have the crested guinea fowl. We don't have them in Samburu, but we have them in Mount Kenya or Aberdares or any place with a mountain. You can actually be able to see them. We also have some birds like the eastern chanting goshawk. They are found there. And many other goshawk are found in the place. The crestals are found in the place. Also, pygmy falcon, you can find them there, and so on. So it's a very, very good place. I highly recommend for bird watchers. You can actually be able to take thousands of, hundreds of birds pictures. We also have some endemic species. These endemic species can mostly be found in the Shaba side of the tree reserve. The one you can see on the screen is called William Slack. William Slack are endemic to the northern part of Kenya, that is the northern part of Equator. So you can actually be able to photograph them there, but you need to be a photographer. Photographers, or not photographer, a bird watcher. The bird watchers are the only people that can actually understand the patience of being a bird watcher. They have to search, you really have to search for it for you to be able to see it. We also have this other lark. It is called the Frenchman's lark. They are also found in the area because they are endemic to this area. It is called the Frenchman lark. So this is also one species that you need to see when you go there as a bird watcher. We also have the musk lark. You can see the rock that that bird is sitting on. It is actually a volcano rock or a porous rock that is actually formed because of volcanic eruption. So it is actually, you can actually also see these ones in the desert area. So you see Samburu area is a semi-arid desert. So you can also be able to see that bird in that area because they are endemic to that place. We also have crocodiles. They are found there. That is the Nile crocodile. You can be able to see them. And the hippos are also in the area. So thank you so much for joining me. thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. So I want to allow you to ask questions. If anyone actually have a question, you are actually free to ask question if anyone have one. And thank you very much for your patience.
Thank you very much, Lenny. Okay, now your video is visible to us. In between, your video was pretty frozen. Excellent session, Lenny. Thank you so much. It was really educational, very deep. A lot of macro information that many of us would have never known unless we would have heard from you today. Even I think you provided more details than Actu and Discovery would. It was amazing. It was amazing. I have a question, Lenny. There is this saying of there is this big not a saying. It's just a debate that keeps going on. Does the zebra have black stripes on white or white stripes on black?
Thank you for the question. Actually, the recent research that was done by the researchers in the science laboratory, actually, they took the embryo of the zebra, and actually what they found is that the zebra is black with white stripes, and that's why you find the black color is also much dominant in the zebra. For example, when you look at the nose of the zebra, it's dark. When you look at the legs, actually near the toes. Let me just share the screen of Samburu. So let me just take you back to the zebras.
That's a few slides behind, I guess.
Yeah. So, this zebra, you can actually see on the hooves, down near the hooves is black. Okay. And also you see in this side, the dominant color is grayish, but we normally use the common zebra, whereby they have more black, like in the hooves, and also in the nose and the mouth, it is always black. So they found they actually used the embryo of the zebra to determine what is the color of the zebra. So that's when they found the zebra is black with white stripes. I used to tell clients, the zebra is black with white stripe because the greyfish zebra has a white belly, but I was wrong. So I was very thankful to those researchers. And actually, I did a lot of research myself and found that information, which is very recent. Thank you.
Great. And also, Lenny, could you also just inform us on what would be the best time of the year to touch Nakuru and Samburu, as well as which is the accommodation facilities that you recommend to be when we are in that particular location?
Yeah, now when it comes to visit the area, these two parks are not like Masai Mara, whereby people can go there specifically because of migration, whereby migration have a season. So for these two parks, you can go any time of the year. Any time of the year, you can go there. And when it comes to accommodations, in Lake Nakuru, I can recommend Sarofa Lion Hill. It is in the middle of the park, very good location. You can actually be able to access all sides of the park because it is in a very good location. Maybe I can just share with you briefly the map of Lake Nakuru. So I hope you can be able to see the map.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the map of Lake Nakuru. This is Nakuru Sopa Lodge. This is Lake Nakuru Lodge. This is Sarofa Lion Hill, and this is Flamingo. So I recommend Sarofa Lion Hill. It's the most convenient. It's the most convenient place because the accommodation is also good. The food is perfect. So also you can actually be able to access northern side of the park, and also you can be able to access southern side of the park, of which most of the animals roam in this area near Lanet Gate, the rhinos, the buffaloes, and all that. and also on this side towards like Nakuru Lodge and this way. So these are the major places for game drive. So you can actually be able to access. If I may share some pictures of the hotels, this is like Nakuru Sofa Lodge. This one is a bit high. You have to drive some distance like 9 kilometers to get to the main spot. This is Sarofa Lion Hill. This is the place. Like Nakuru Lodge is also there. It's good. You can actually be able to access all the places. Has a beautiful view. And then when it comes to families, for example, they don't have to get up very early, like to take morning pictures and all that. You can actually stay at Bweha Safari Camp. It's outside the park in Soisambu. It can take you 15-20 minutes to reach to inside the park from the camp. It is also a very, very nice facility. So that is what I can answer about that. And then when we go to Samburu National Reserve, I can actually, I don't know if you can be able to see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Yes, so we have Ashinil Samburu Lodge. It is the only place I can recommend if you want to stay in Samburu National, Buffalo Spring National Reserve. That is actually on this side of the river. Then when you go to this side, we have Samburu Intrepid. Intrepid, I like the place. The accommodation is good, food is good, no complaints. And also we have Elephant Bedroom. Elephant Bedroom is also a place that I highly recommend. So these places all have different prices. So it actually depends on your budget. What is your budget for safari? Because like this one is a bit more expensive compared to Ashinil and also Intrepid Hotel. So all depend on that. And also for those parks, you can actually be able to visit any time of the year.
Wow, great. Any other questions, guys? Anupam, Bristow?
Yes, I have a small question. When it comes to photographing cheetahs on kill,
Yeah.
how to identify if the moment of the cheetah when it is about to start the hunt, or like when it is going to start to pick up the pace and go behind the animal. So is there any way to identify if the cheetah is actually going for a hunt? Any body language or anything?
Yes, actually, you can be able to use the physical appearance or the body language communication of the cheetah. So when the moment you realize or even see the stomach of this animal is a bit down, it's no food, if the animal is slim and the animal is restless,
Okay.
it is not sitting in one place, it is looking all over. As a guide, I can 100% be able to tell you there is a hunt coming. So when we see like an animal in the place, like for example, the picture you can see on the screen, I actually be able to detect by the body language the 5 cheetahs are going to hunt. And I had to look for the prey, and I saw the prey, and I had to go very far and position the car. And we waited for hours for this cheetah to come and try and hunt this animal. So you see, this topi was actually sleeping. So you can actually be able to know this is really going to happen. As a guide, you can actually be able to tell the body language of the animal, and therefore you have to position yourself and all that. So it all depends on the guide. How fast can actually the guide be able to know the body language of the animal? So that is all I can tell you about that. And it depends. How can you read the body language of the animal?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thank you for that, Lenny. It was
Welcome.
really, really helpful.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it from the question answer session from the group. Also, all the questions that you've had. I have just sent another comment in the Facebook platform to ask any questions. So let's give it another 20-30 seconds to receive any response. Otherwise, I think we are pretty good. It was a very nice session, Lenny, especially the part where you explained, you gave us the entire biological detail of each species of animal that you discussed, starting from their basic anatomy to their gestation period, to their ovulation cycles, to their basic behavior, their habitat. Everything was there in like small capsules that you were popping at us, and that is exactly how anybody would like to receive this kind of a vast subject, because it is impossible for us to gain experience from the field like you have. It is definitely not possible.
Excuse me, Lenny, I have a small question.
Yes.
You told regarding this flamingos, which is going away from Nakuru because of the water level is going up and all of that. So now, which location they are going actually in Kenya? Which location the massive amount of flamingos can be seen or photographed?
Now the big number of flamingos are actually going to a place called Lake Bogoria National Reserve. I hope you can be able to see my screen. I just want to open for you. So this is one of the places whereby it is 2 hours drive from Lake Nakuru towards the north of Lake Nakuru. It can actually take you 2 hours to drive there. And at the same time, you can be able to, from Nairobi, that is the picture. You can see the picture of Lake Bogoria.
Wow, that's great.
Flamingos. The picture was taken a bit longer, but actually you can see the real thing when you visit there. This is water. It also have some hot spring, and in the lake, you can drive to places whereby you'll be very high, and you take flamingos from down. So there are possibilities, or there are chances for you to cover like the whole lake. So let me just share the picture. So that is how the lake look like. It's a very, very long lake. And actually this side of the lake, this side of the lake is actually the escarpment. That is the edge of the Rift Valley escarpment. And on this side, this is where the road is. You can actually go through this side to entire lake. So it is one of the best places where you can be able to photograph millions of flamingos. So from Nairobi to Lake Bogoria, if you leave in the morning, you can arrive there for lunch. After lunch, the place is a bit hot because it is towards the north, so it's a semi-arid area. So you can visit the area after lunch to do photography, whereby you can get a chance. You are allowed to get out of the car and walk and take pictures in the shores of the lake. So that is one of the places that I highly recommend for anyone that wants to take the pictures of flamingos in large numbers.
And what will be the best season to see this mass number in this lake, or is it all over the year?
Any time of the year.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Lenny. Thank you.
Thank you, Sana.
Lenny, from the Facebook platform, there is a question from Mr. Amar. The question is, did you ever experience an encounter or heard of an encounter between cheetah and leopards and humans, as in, have there been any real act of the animals trying to attack humans during a safari?
Actually, I have never heard that, mainly because the places that we visit, the tourist destination places, most of our guides in Kenya are so professional, and actually they always read the behavior of the animal. They keep distance. So they also guide clients so that they don't make unnecessary noise or to annoy these animals. And that is the reason why it is very, very difficult to get animal attack on the parks. But sometimes, yes, we have those guides or people that are just, they don't care. So you find when you surround the animal, for example, we had a small rhino attack, but no one was injured. And then also you can actually be able to get, there was a leopard actually jumped on someone, but no injuries. And it is because when you come very, very close and you disturb the animal, definitely things are going to happen. But in places like Tsavo National Park, the animals are very, very wild because the park is so huge. So the animal can go even 1 year without seeing a car. And also there is a high rate of poaching. So the animals are very, very aggressive to human beings. So for the cheetah also, the cheetahs are the most social animals in the wild, whereby in Masai Mara, sometimes we find them climbing cars. They climb vehicles to use them as viewpoints, to view, to get predator, to see if there is a predator around, or if like lions, or if they are prey around, something that they can hunt. But attacks, it's very rare. Maybe outside the park, when the people are battling with the wild animals because of human-wildlife conflicts. But inside the park, very rare.
Thank you, Lenny.
Paul, I have a small question adding to your statement on, like, where we see a lot of photos where cheetahs climb up the cars, and with those cars with the open tops and all, we see that there are some guides and drivers who utilize this situation where the cheetahs, they know by the body language that they will climb the cars. But is it really safe to do that? And I know that they have now stopped doing that. Or, but can you just comment on what this situation is like? In what happens basically?
Now, what happened? We have a family of cheetah that was called Malaika. Malaika means angel. This cheetah was a real angel because she was very, very friendly to human beings.
Okay.
Her and her cubs climbed vehicles. And some actually people started to misbehave when this cheetah climbed the vehicles. And the park management of Masai Mara said, if you get found or caught when the cheetah is on the top of your car, you will actually be expelled, or you will not go to the park for 1 year. So people are actually trying to avoid. If you see the cheetah is coming and want to climb on your car, you have to start the car and drive. And actually, that noise or that surprise make the cheetah not to climb the cars anymore. But there is no any attack. They climb, people just freeze. They take pictures and videos, but nothing has ever happened.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. So I think that's pretty much it, Lenny. We have answered all the questions that were queued up. And another amazing session, Lenny. Thanks again for your time. And also would like to inform everyone that part 3 is coming up, the last sequence of this series. Part 1 was Ambosli. Part 2, today we have already had this wonderful session, and to be followed next week with part 3 that is going to be on Masai Mara, and that is really going to be interesting for sure. I'm looking forward to it, Lenny.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Lenny. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, good day. Okay,
Good day.
thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.